Good evening. Thanks a lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18. You're watching The Right Stand. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar. Just imagine a scenario like this. A minor is stalked and murdered in our country, all because she said no to her stalker. And what does the state government do? They're busy enjoying at resorts with allegations of liquor flowing. Let's recap a little bit. It was on the 23rd of August when the accused Shahrukh poured petrol on a minor victim from outside the window of a room when she was sleeping and then set her on fire. The victim died all because she did not reciprocate the man's advances. The victim's family has also now exposed the sheer lack of sensitivity of the state government, alleging that the victim didn't receive the kind of attention and even urgent medical aid that she needed and that possibly could have saved her life. Again, what did the state government do? They showed a minor victim as an adult. They didn't need the family for help and assistance as they remained silent and let the victim down. The elected JMM-INC representatives were packed off to a resort in Chhattisgarh, all in a bid to avoid poaching. Let me just show you what really happened to actually bring out a set of differences of what we are actually seeing in our country. I'm going to play out certain set of visuals to actually show you what is the state of authorities in our country. There is no justice as far as the victim is concerned. The family is saying if timely help was given, if timely assistance was given, possibly their child, their daughter could have been alive. As I said, what was the state government and officials on the ground doing? They were getting busy moving to a resort, all of this because they wanted to avoid poaching. Let me also now show you another set of visuals to give you another sense of what really is happening in our country. The minor's family continues to struggle for aid. The government is mum as far as the victim's murder is concerned. Remember, this was the same government that once airlifted writer Nadeem to Delhi, so that the allegation is that a writer actually gets VIP treatment, but the victim has to run pillar to post to try and get some justice, or the victim's family has to run pillar to post to try and get some sort of a justice. I also now want to break down some other details of what are we actually seeing happening as far as this case is concerned. Is it just a case of power without responsibility? Let's begin from the 28th of August. The victim succumbs to her burn injuries. What was the state government doing? The chief minister plus 32 other MLAs were on a bus trip. They also took a boat ride at Kunti. Amid all the ongoing political turmoil in Jharkhand, MLAs of this coalition, they were shifted to Raipur in Chhattisgarh, and possibly what was seen as the start of resort politics. Then let's cut to what happened on the 30th of August. There was nationwide uproar on the murder, also raising questions as far as the lapses in the investigation are concerned. Once again, all these 32 MLAs and other officials, they departed for Raipur and they checked in at a fancy resort. They continue to be there. Then on the 31st of August, what happened? There's a lot of pressure that is mounting, demanding answers, not just for the victim, but for her family as well. Union ministers, the NCW, there was a BJP delegation, they were all in Dumka trying to give their support and solidarity to the victim's family. Again, what does the state government do? MLAs booked at a resort, they continue to be there. So the question then we're asking this evening is, are these the real priorities of the state government? So the question that we're asking this evening is, the MLAs, they've betrayed Jharkhand's Beti. Is it a case of misplaced priorities? You can also use our hashtags and get involved in our debate. Let me now bring in our guest to take this discussion forward. We have Babulal Morandi, the first Chief Minister of Jharkhand. We have Aprajita Sarangi, MP and National Spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Aishwarya Mahadev, Spokesperson of the Congress Party. We have Manoj Kumar Pandey, JMM Spokesperson. We also have Tushar Gupta, Senior Editor, Swarajya Magazine. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. मनोज जी, मैं पहले आपसे शुरुआत करना चाहती हूँ. जैसे मैंने शो की शुरुआत में दिखाया, लैप्सेस थे, इन्वेस्टिगेशन में डिले था, फैमिली की एलिगेशंस हैं, उन सब पे मैं थोड़ी देर में आऊंगी. मैं एक सिंपल सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ डिबेट के शुरुआत में. क्या आपकी पार्टी और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट मानती है आज कि गलतियां हुई हैं, लैप्सेस हुई हैं, चूक हुई है?
हेलो, बोला जाए?
जी जी बोलिए आप मनोज जी, हम सुन सकते हैं आपको.
नहीं, बोला जाए, हम सुन नहीं पाए, कॉल आ गया. बोला जाए.
मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, अगर मेरी आवाज आपको आ रही है, मैं एक सीधा सवाल से ये डिबेट शुरू करना चाहती हूँ. क्या आज आपकी पार्टी और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ये बात मानती है कि गलतियां हुई हैं, चूक हुई है?
देखिए, मैं आप ही को जज मानता हूँ. जो दुर्घटना हुई बहुत ही अफसोसजनक, बहुत ही हृदय विदारक घटना थी. इसकी जितनी भी निंदा की जाए कम. घटना हुई, उसके तुरंत मुझे लगता है 24 घंटे के अंदर जो हत्यारा था, जो आरोपी था, वो गिरफ्तार कर दिया गया. मुख्यमंत्री ने कड़े निर्देश दिए, उसका एक साथी था, वो भी गिरफ्तार. उसके बाद मुख्यमंत्री के निर्देश पर फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट में इसकी सुनवाई के लिए लिखित दिया गया कोर्ट. जो भी अनुसंधान की बातें आ रही थी, उसमें एडीजी स्तर के एक पदाधिकारी को नियुक्त किया गया, जिनकी देखरेख में अनुसंधान पूरा हो, और तुरंत गिरफ्तारी. बहुत बड़ी बात. उनको जो सहायता चाहिए थी, 10 लाख रुपए की राशि जिला प्रशासन ने घर पर जाके पहुंचाए. बेहतर चिकित्सा सुविधा के लिए रिम्स, जो कि झारखंड का सबसे
नहीं, गिरफ्तारी हुई तो वो तो काम है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और पुलिस ऑफिशियल्स का. आप परिवार की बातें सुनिए, वो क्या कह रहे हैं. ना एम्बुलेंस टाइम पे मिली, ना हॉस्पिटल अथॉरिटीज का हेल्प टाइम पे मिला, ना एफआईआर टाइम पर हुआ. एफआईआर में उसकी एज के साथ क्या हुआ वो तो एक अलग ही कहानी है. तो मैं सिर्फ ये सुनना चाहती हूँ आपसे, क्या आप मानते हैं कि चूक हुई है?
नहीं, मैं आपसे अनुरोध करूंगा कि आप बता दें मुझे कि किस स्तर पर चूक हुई. मैंने पूरा डिटेल आपको बताया. चिकित्सा में भी कोई कमी नहीं थी और मेडिकल बोर्ड की अनुशंसा नहीं मिली, नहीं तो इस बच्ची को भी एयरलिफ्ट करा के दिल्ली भेजा जाता बेहतर चिकित्सा के लिए. जैसा कि हम लोगों ने चतरा की एक बच्ची, जो कि सेम केस था, एसिड बर्न था, उसको आज भेजा गया. और जहां तक बात है संवेदनशीलता की, तो हम लोगों ने तो विपक्ष के विधायक को भी एयरलिफ्ट करके भेजा और आज वो जीवित है, सिंदरी के विधायक. तो संवेदनशीलता में कोई कमी नहीं है और कहीं चूक नहीं हुई है, मेरा मानना है. लेकिन आप जज की भूमिका में हैं, आप बताइए.
सर, मैं क्या जज हूं? मैं तो जर्नलिस्ट हूं, मेरा काम है सवाल पूछना. आज मैं सिर्फ उन परिवार के बारे में सोचना चाहती हूँ जिनकी बच्ची उनके पास नहीं है. बट आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इन ऐश्वर्या इन द कन्वर्सेशन एज वेल. ऐश्वर्या, as a woman, I want to really keep political differences aside. Me and you face multiple issues as far as women's safety is concerned on a day-to-day basis. Shouldn't political parties come together to acknowledge if a mistake has been made? Because today our prime focus should be that a case like this is not repeated. Why are we wanting to indulge into a political war of words and a blame game?
Good evening, Ridhima. I think first and foremost that what has happened is an absolute blot on humanity and the heinous manner in which the crime has occurred. I believe and hope that the strictest of punishment is meted out to the accused and who has very promptly been arrested. I think, Ridhima, the reality of today lies that this politicization that happens is something that steers away from the conversation of law and order, which is something that needs to be looked into. And as a coalition partner of the GMM, we have made very clear to the government and the Chief Minister that the greatest and the most sensitive manner and the fastest manner in which you can undertake this investigation is of priority. Mr. Alamgir Alam himself was the one that also spoke about the SIT. And now if there's any dereliction, if there's any lapse, if there's any error that has occurred, I am very certain that the Congress JMM coalition is willing to admit if there is something that has gone wrong, whether it's the DSP that you talk about, if there's any sort of lapse that you believe that has happened, please allow the investigation to happen, because we're far more responsible. And when these arguments come of they were partying, they were holidaying, they are very wrong equivalences, because no matter where the MLAs
no,
work.
Aishwarya, this is where I disagree with you. You know, think about the family today. Look what has happened as far as this case is concerned. Unfortunately today, the fact that the identity of the victim has become a matter, either no local channels or unfortunately even national channels, is the fact because we all thought that she was not a minor, which wasn't the case. There was a deliberate botch up to try and change the age of the victim so that the POCSO Act doesn't come into play. But I'll come back to that also in just a bit. I'm just trying to understand what are the priorities of the state government. A heinous crime is happening in your state and you're busy trying to push away your MLAs as far as resort politics is concerned because of serious allegations against your own chief minister. But Babulal ji, मैं आपको भी conversation में लाना चाहती हूँ. क्या ये हम सबके लिए काफी शर्मनाक चीज नहीं है जब हम एक स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को देखते हैं कि एक तरफ हम एक बच्ची को नहीं बचा सके और दूसरी तरफ एमएलएज रिजॉर्ट्स में जाके मजे कर रहे हैं, काफी सारी एलिगेशंस भी आई हैं उनके लिए?
मुझे निश्चित रूप से घटना बड़ी शर्मनाक है कि मैं बार बार कहता हूँ कि सरकार की प्रायोरिटी में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर नहीं, सरकार की प्रायोरिटी में राजकीय जनता की सुरक्षा हो या डेवलप हो, ये नहीं। सरकार की प्रायोरिटी में एक ही है कि सरकार में बने रहना और फिर अपने और अपने दलालों की हितों की पूर्ति, उसी में दलाल बिचौलिया वही लोग सरकार को भी चला रहे हैं। और इसलिए जो 28-22 महीनों जो सरकार को मिले हुए वो 32 महीने, और 32 महीनों से क्या हो रहा है? काम तो कहीं कुछ हो नहीं रहा, बस भूख बची हुई है। चाहे कोयला हो, बालू हो, पत्थर हो, लोहा हो, जितनी भी खनिज संपदा है ये सब लूट रही है, मालो माल लूट रहे हैं। अब इस कारण से सरकार के में बैठे हुए लोगों को बाकी जनता की कोई परवाह नहीं, इसलिए अपराध बड़ा। जिस पुलिस का काम होता है अपराधियों को पकड़ना, जेल के शिकंजों में डाला, जेल में उनको बंद कर उनको सजा दिलवाना, अब पुलिस का काम यहाँ भ्रष्ट पुलिस को ऐसी जगह पर पदस्थापित किया कि उन लोगों का काम है सिर्फ वसूली करना। अब इस कारण से अपराध भी ताजा बढ़ रहा है, बेलगाम हो चुका है अपराध, बेखौफ होकर के। आपने दुमका की घटना देखी, उस लड़के की गिरफ्तारी होती है किस मस्ती की चाल से वो चल रहे हैं, कोई खौफ नहीं है, कोई डर नहीं है, उनको लगता है हमारी आका है, हम छुड़ा लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, चलेंगे। तो ये जो राजनीतिक स्थिति है इस कारण से
नहीं, तो मैं आपसे ये समझना चाहती हूँ, आप कह रहे हैं कि एक लार्जर इशू की तरफ पॉइंट आउट करता है, वो है लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन। उसके बारे में मैं थोड़ी देर में बात करूंगी, पर आपका क्या ये मानना है कि अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट थोड़ी और सतर्क होती तो अंकिता की जान बचाई जा सकती थी?
नहीं, बिल्कुल। मुझे लगता है कि जैसे हम कल गए थे, परसों गए थे, तब उनके घर में उनके परिवार वालों से मिले। घटना 23 तारीख होती है, 23 तारीख को प्रातः काल 4 बजे की समय, और उसके बाद उनका सदर अस्पताल लोग ले जाते हैं। सदर अस्पताल में कोई इलाज की व्यवस्था नहीं, डॉक्टर कह देते हैं कि भाई उनको बेहतर इलाज के लिए बाहर। उनके पिताजी गरीब है, मजदूरी करने वाला, पैसा नहीं था, दिन भर जुगाड़ में लगे। अंकिता सदर अस्पताल में पड़ी रही, दिन भर पड़ी रही, किसी प्रकार से लोग व्यवस्था किया। 9, साढ़े 9, 10 बजे रात वहां से फिर एम्बुलेंस से लेकर रांची ले आया, तो रात भर आया। रांची 24 तारीख को 4:30-5 बजे पहुंचे। आप ये सोच सकते हैं 24 घंटा से अधिक लग गया रांची तक जी, यानी 24 घंटा लाइलाज रही, कोई इलाज नहीं। और यहाँ भी 8-9 बजे के पहले कोई डॉक्टर्स आते नहीं है, 10 बजे के पहले। तो कुल मिला करके 25 से लेकर के उनको 30 घंटा तो उनके इलाज ही नहीं हुई। अगर उनको प्रशासन थोड़ी भी संवेदना होती प्रशासन में, तो तुरंत उसको एम्बुलेंस में ही हजारीबाग क्या कहते हैं, बोकारो में भी क्या कहते हैं, बोकारो स्टील प्लांट का अच्छे वर्न यूनिट्स है, वहां भी इलाज करा सकते थे, या रांची भी ले आ सकते थे। तो कम से कम 5-6 घंटा में रांची पहुंच जाते, इलाज हो जाता समय पर। और नहीं तो एयरलिफ्ट भी कर सकते थे, हेलीकॉप्टर वगैरह से उसको दुमका से उठा करके रांची ला सकते थे, लेकिन ये सब काम किसी ने कुछ नहीं, जो है ऐसे ही। तो ये जो क्या दर्शाता है कि भाई सरकार में कोई संवेदना नहीं है, सरकार किसी को कोई इसका चिंता नहीं है, जबकि वहीं से उनके छोटे भाई विधायक ये स्थिति। दूसरी तरफ वही अपराधियों को बचाने के लिए उनको कैसे बचाया जा सकता है उसकी षड्यंत्र रची जा रही है।
अच्छा।
जहाँ बच्ची नाबालिग है, 16 साल उनकी उम्र है, उनको 19 साल दिखाया जा रहा है। लड़की 2 लोगों का नाम लेते हैं, लेकिन एफआईआर में पहले एक ही का नाम आता है। फिर इस प्रकार की घटना में जब पेशेंट सीरियस होता है तो डायरेक्ट डिक्लेरेशन होता है, मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने बयान कराया जाता है,
जी।
लेकिन ये सब चीजें कुछ भी नहीं किया। तो ये कुल मिलाकर के समझ में आता है कि भाई अपराधियों को बचाने में ये लोग लग गए, न कि अपराधी के क्या बोलते हैं पीड़िता को बचाने में। ये बिल्कुल साफ लगता है।
मनोज जी, मैं आपको वापस लाना चाहती हूँ बिफोर आई ब्रिंग इन माय अदर गेस्ट हु बीन पेशेंटली वेटिंग एज वेल। आप कह रहे थे एयरलिफ्ट करने की परमिशन नहीं मिली, जैसे बाबूलाल जी बता रहे हैं कि उन्होंने फैमिली से मिले, काफी सारे लैप्सेस सामने आए, विक्टिम को रांची क्यों नहीं ले जाया गया?
देखिए, मैं आपको पूरी जिम्मेवारी से जो बात बता रहा हूँ, पूरा सत्य बात बता रहा हूँ, इसमें कोई राजनीति नहीं है। इस विषय पर राजनीति करना भी नहीं चाहिए। जो लोग राजनीति कर रहे हैं, बहुत शर्म की बात है। उनको जिला प्रशासन के द्वारा दुमका से लाया गया रांची रिम्स अस्पताल में, और जिला प्रशासन को निर्देशित किया गया था कि कोई कोताही नहीं हो इलाज में। वहां जो सीमित संसाधन है उसमें इलाज संभव नहीं था। रिम्स लाया गया, रिम्स में इलाज शुरू हुआ, और रिम्स के डॉक्टरों ने, जो मेडिकल बोर्ड होता है, उस बोर्ड ने बोला कि थोड़ी स्टेबल हो जाएगी, उसके बाद एयरलिफ्ट किया जा सकता है, अभी यहीं रखना श्रेयस्कर होगा, इसके लिए बेहतर हो। तो वही चीज आज हम लोग, दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि वो हमारे बीच नहीं है, हमारी बहन, बहुत दुख की बात है, लेकिन कोई कोताही किसी स्तर पर नहीं बरता गया है। हम लोगों ने आज चतरा की एक बच्ची को हम लोगों ने एयरलिफ्ट करके भेजा है। हमने बताया आपको, हम संवेदनशील लोग हैं, हम भाजपा के
एफआईआर में गलत एज क्यों थी मनोज जी?
जी,
एफआईआर में गलत एज क्यों थी? और अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का इतना इंटेंट था तो आपके एमएलएज रिजॉर्ट पॉलिटिक्स में क्यों इंडल्ज कर रहे थे? आपकी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को नंबर्स के हिसाब से तो कोई खतरा नहीं है, तो उनको वहीं रखा जा सकता था। ये सवाल बीजेपी भी खड़ा कर रही है ना। But let me bring in Aparajita Sarangi also. Aparajita Sarangi, while all these allegations are being made, the criticism that's coming in from the state government is that both these issues are separate. What happened with that victim is extremely unfortunate, and if there were lapses, they would want to own up to it. But as far as resort politics is concerned, that's completely a separate issue and both shouldn't be mixed.
The
Aparajita
brutal
Sarangi.
murder of Ankita has shaken the conscience of the entire nation. And I think we are all hanging our heads in shame. You know, each one of us is responsible. Having said that, let me quote Lord Acton. He had said, "Power tends to corrupt man, but absolute power corrupts absolutely." Now, power and arrogance have gone and corrupted the heads and hearts of the people, the Soren team who had been picnicking elsewhere. Now, the question is, why didn't they leave their picnicking? And why didn't they come all the way to Dumka town? Mind it, I underscore, it was not a village. She was burnt in this manner. Dumka town, the municipal area. Why didn't they leave the picnic? Why didn't they come here? Why didn't they stand by the family? Where is the sensitivity of the Jharkhand government? Where is the humanness in their approach? See, they should have stood by the family of the deceased. Where are they? Now, let me remind you that this particular seat had been won by Sibu Soren 7 times. Basan Soren is the MLA here, and even Sri Hemant Sorenji was MLA once from this seat. I'm trying to tell you that these people have been there, their people are around, but where is the humanness in the approach? Why didn't they stand by the family? That's the question. Now here, the murder of Ankita indicates the fact that there is complete breakdown of law and order machinery in the state of Jharkhand. On 23rd June 2022, the Honorable High Court of Jharkhand had said in very clear terms that the law and order situation in Jharkhand has gone for a toss, and the government of Jharkhand should actually pull it up. This was the observation on 23rd of June.
Okay.
I have the video also. Now here, another thing. The High Court had to step in, and the High Court took suo motu cognizance of the matter. And High Court has called for a report from the state government. And High Court has summoned the DG police and the concerned official, right, the Chief Secretary. Now the fact remains, why did the judiciary have to step in? It was the work of the Chief Minister and his entire team. Why didn't they leave their picnicking?
Okay.
Number one, why did this happen? This incident should not have happened in Jharkhand. And if it had happened, for 5 days, that poor girl had to wait for treatment. Now,
Absolutely.
as you said, and this has been discussed,
there is no denying the fact what has happened is extremely unfortunate. There is also no denying the fact that there were lapses as far as the investigation is concerned. Point well taken, Aprajita Sarangi. Today there is no cover-up as to what has happened in Dumka. Tushar, I want to bring you in. More than as far as a case of misplaced priorities, what does it say as far as us having a mindset towards the victim? Doesn't it expose a lack of sheer sensitivity that when the family is running pillar to post to try and understand what really happened, why were there lapses, you have the state officials who are not even present with them, but they're busy enjoying somewhere. There are boat rides that are happening. BJP is making allegations that liquor was flowing. Optically, isn't it just a slap on the face as far as the victim's family is concerned?
It's a slap on the face of the electorate of Jharkhand, Ridhima, if I may put it that way. See, it's very somber to know that a girl was burnt alive by a stalker who had the audacity to laugh on camera, rather smile on camera, while the state government is busy saving itself. The MLAs are literally holidaying from one place to another. This is a slap on the electorate of Jharkhand. And this is not the first rape case in recent times that has emerged from the state. This is a law and order crisis in the state, which the government does not want to acknowledge. They can come forward and attribute the blame to the BJP, that the BJP is trying to ensure that the government doesn't stay. They can attribute the blame to the governor. They can attribute the blame to anyone. But the point is, in these somber times, when the family, when the electorate of Jharkhand really needed a leader, the CM bailed himself out. And yes, you're right. It is definitely about how we as a society look at the victim. It's not about the victim today. It's not about the entire religious angle, which I want to avoid for this debate. But it's just about the politicization of it. No one wants to stand up and say, okay, this is the time a party or a government will take a stand, will get the job done, will ensure that the family is taken care of. No, it's about politicizing. This is the problem. And at this moment, the question needs to be asked of the Congress party or an ally in this government, that do they really want to ally with such a party that has such misplaced priorities? This is the big question.
Yeah. I know Aishwarya wants to come in. Aishwarya, I was coming to you only. I'll let you respond to what Tushar is saying. I just want to understand, taking on from what Tushar is saying and what I wanted to understand, do you really want to ally with a party? That's a political question. I just want to understand who is going to give us answers as far as these lapses are concerned. I've been speaking to the family members over the last couple of days, and they've said this on record multiple times, that there was nobody from the state government that came to see them when they needed them the most. Today, you had a BJP delegation in Dumka. You had the NCW in Dumka. Nobody from the state government was anywhere even near the family. That's one. Secondly, what really explains the botch up as far as the age of the victim is concerned? I'm finding it really difficult that today we've all splashed our pictures, our identity everywhere, thinking that this was not a minor. There was a deliberate attempt to try and save the accused as far as POCSO is concerned.
Okay, Ridhima, there are two parts that I'm going to answer. I've been listening to Ms. Sarangi and I've been listening to Tushar. And you know, when somebody talks about a slap on the electorate, the bigger slap on the electorate is not this. The bigger slap on the electorate is the fact that the BJP is trying to obviously poach and horse trade in order to bring down another democratically elected government. And the fact of the matter is the Jharkhand coalition government has done more for this girl.
There are allegations against the Chief Minister, Aishwarya. Where is the poaching claim coming? And as I said, the numbers are still, as far as the state government is concerned, they're pretty okay with their numbers. Let's keep that aside. I'm trying to understand what about justice to the victim and the priorities of the state government.
Let me finish. Let me get to this. And I can say even in that situation that the JMM Congress government has been far more responsible and far more receptive to this idea to extend help, as opposed to governments with what happened with Hathras, or what happened when a girl's body was burnt without her family even knowing. And this is not a comparative, but I'm saying as a government there has been far more responsibility. And second thing, I want to answer your idea about the age of the girl, and I think what has happened is extremely unfortunate. If whether some people say it was when she was speaking to the magistrate, some people say the DSP made it of his own accord, and I know the government, and we've already conveyed to our coalition partner that they are responsible enough to ensure and bring who has done this to task. And the larger picture of this is at no point did the government abdicate its responsibility. The BJP will talk and say nobody has gone to see, the health minister has gone, the MLAs have gone to visit. And the larger part is they've offered any sort of assistance that was humanly possible to ensure this girl had a fighting chance, and extremely unfortunately she did not. Today the BJP delegation has gone far more to sit and fan more flames than to try and offer any consolation to the family.
So why didn't the state government also join as far as those optics are concerned? If you're saying what the BJP delegation did was optics, let the state government also do it. Today the realization within the family members is that the state government has left us to fend for ourselves.
Is this the realization, Ridhima, you're drawing as an inference, or because the fact
I'm
that
not drawing an inference, Aishwarya, as I said even when I started the show, it should break our hearts for what has happened. I've been speaking to the family members over the last couple of days. I'm quoting what they've said on record.
Ridhima, the fact of the matter is, from the health minister to neighbouring MLAs, and I think the GMM spokesperson will also confirm that everything within the power that was there. This was an event that happened when a lot of MLAs were not there because of what is happening with the BJP's raw struggle for power in Jharkhand. And with this situation also, and had Mr. Hemant Soren has taken that priority, our leader, our CLP leader, has conveyed that the GMM and the Congress will work together to ensure the ends of justice, because it is not my party that garlands rapists. It is not my party or our coalition allies who ask for remission of people who have committed acts of the cruelest, most heinous nature. And I think the sense of responsibility on the GMM and the Congress is so much higher, whether people would believe it or not, because we take it upon ourselves to stand for what we talk about and what we believe in. And it's not just an act of convenience. You talked today about what we've done about this lady. What has the BJP said about Miss Patra for the violent and heinous act she's conducted against a poor woman that was her help? What is the BJP said? Aparajita Sarangi talks so much about the arrogance and the grave manner in which the Hemant Soren government is functioning. What have you said, ma'am, about Ms. Seema Patra? What have you said about your own BJP, a person from BJP stealing a child from a railway station? What have you said about your BJP MLA saying they were good Brahmin people, they could have not committed that heinous rape? So when you talk, think about the repercussion and also the reality and the hypocrisy you portray. Because Ridhima asked these pertinent questions, because crimes against women are crimes against women.
Aparajita Sarangi, fair point. Respond to what Aishwarya is saying, that today it's convenient for the BJP to take a higher moral ground. But what about the cases that are happening either with BJP members, politicians or their associates?
I will take her to the National Crime Record Bureau report 2021. It has just come out. And there is 17% increase in Jharkhand as far as women rape cases are concerned. So how does the Jharkhand coalition government respond to this? In 2020, there was 1373 such cases, and in 2021, it went up to 1608 cases. This is just rape. I have also figures of crime against women. Of course, the graph is increasing. Now, here is the failure of the Jharkhand coalition government to ensure the safety and dignity of women and ensure law and order, proper law and order situation in the state of Jharkhand. We must accept this. And there has been grave lapse in administration. They have to accept. Why were they picnicking when they should have come here and stood by the family? That's the question. Why did the girl have to face the torture for 5 days? Why was Nadeem Ansari, a stone pelter who was just hurt, I underscore hurt, H-U-R-T, in June 2022, was sent to Delhi AIMS by air ambulance? But nothing was done to this girl. Why so? Where was Basant Soren immediately after this particular thing happened? Now, when the Child Welfare Committee of the district has come up and said that, you know, the age should have been lower, POXO, it should have been a POXO case. And NCPCR has also come in the picture, the National Crime, you know, the National Committee for Protection of Child Rights.
Okay.
They have come, and the NCW also is into the picture. Then why are these people not acting as they should, and where were they during those 5 days? And I heard the spokesperson of the GMM, I was aghast. He said, we have done our job, we have given 10 lakhs. Did I say that through crowdfunding, we have raised more than 27 lakhs? Nishikant Dubeji and the other 2 MPs who rushed from
मनोज
Delhi.
जी रिस्पॉन्ड करिए। अपराजिता जी क्या कह रही हैं कि आपने तो सिर्फ 10 लाख दिए हैं, उन्होंने क्राउड फंडिंग करी, उससे ज्यादा 27 लाख कलेक्ट हो गया। क्या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का सिर्फ इतनी ही जिम्मेदारी थी? पहले आप डिले करते हैं इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, उसके बाद फाइनेंशियल हेल्प भी इतना कम, ये एलिगेशन है बीजेपी की।
Sugar coated words will not help you, madam. Sugar coated words will not help you, madam. You have to be seen to be believed.
Manoj ji,
you have to stand by the family of the deceased. That's the behavior that we require.
Okay, Aprajita, let Manoj respond.
जिस बात की चर्चा हो रही है कि उन्होंने 10 लाख दिया, हम लोगों ने 28 लाख दिया, मैंने आज वीडियो में देखा 3 सांसद पॉलिटिकल टूरिज्म में आए थे। मैंने उनको देखा, पूरी जिम्मेवारी से बोल रहा हूँ, गोड्डा के जो सांसद थे पीड़िता के घर में बैठ के हंस रहे थे, मुस्कुरा रहे थे। ये तो मजाक उड़ाना हुआ पीड़िता के परिवार का। पैसे से सब कुछ नहीं होता है, संवेदना दिखलानी चाहिए। आप पैसे लेकर तो यहाँ आ गए, लेकिन जो सुनीता खाखा एक आदिवासी महिला को एक भाजपा की राष्ट्रीय स्तर की नेत्री ने मरणासन स्थिति में कर दिया, उनको प्रताड़ित किया। आज वो कल भगवान न करे, लेकिन अगर उसकी मौत हो गई तो उस पर तो इन लोगों को फेविकॉल लगा हुआ है, उस पर कुछ नहीं बोलते ये।
अच्छा बाबूलाल जी, यही क्रिटिसिज्म आ रहा है कि आज ऑप्टिकली बीजेपी के लिए कन्वीनियंट है बोलना कि जेएमएम और कांग्रेस ने काफी नहीं किया। उनसे हमने सवाल पूछे, बट आपकी बीजेपी की तरफ ये क्रिटिसिज्म आ रहा है कि जो आदिवासी हैं, जो ट्राइबल्स हैं, उनका देख ले तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ही करती है, बीजेपी थोड़ी करती है।
अरे भाजपा की नेत्री है, भाजपा की नेत्री है, राष्ट्रीय
बाबूलाल जी,
बहुत सारे घटना है, मैं तो वही कह रहा हूँ, दुमका में एक घटना है। जिस डीएसपी जो वहाँ का है, नूर मुस्तफा करके डीएसपी है, एक आदिवासी महिला के साथ एक मुसलमान लड़के थे, पुलिस पकड़ जुल्फिकार भुट्टो करके, उनके साथ उन्होंने बदतमीजी किया था। एसटीएससी एक्ट के तहत उसमें केस हुआ, मुफस्सिल थाना में उनकी गिरफ्तारी। 90 दिनों तक, क्योंकि एसटीएससी केस जब होता है तो डीएसपी स्तर के ऑफिसर उसको जांच करते, चार्जशीट वो सबमिट। 90 दिनों तक उन्होंने चार्जशीट सबमिट नहीं की, और जब 90 दिन नहीं किया तो मजिस्ट्रेट ने जुल्फिकर को, भुट्टो को उन्होंने बेल दी, और बेल दिया 10:30 बजे वो जेल से निकलते हैं और 12 बजे चार्जशीट सबमिट करते हैं। भाई क्या मतलब है? और वो सरकार कह रही कि हम आदिवासी की थी, से वो आदिवासी थे। दूसरी, उसी दुमका जिला में शिकारीपाड़ा थाना क्षेत्र में एक एप्पल शेख नाम करके रामपुर हाट के एक पत्थर व्यवसायी है, इलीगल तरीके से शिकारीपाड़ा क्षेत्र के चित्रागढ़िया में एक खदान चलाते थे। वहां एक ट्राइबल व्यक्ति उस खदान में, इलीगल खदान में गिर के मर गए। एफआईआर हुआ एसटीएससी एक्ट के तहत, अभी तक किसी की गिरफ्तारी नहीं। यही डीएसपी ने जांच किया, कहा कि और जांच करने की।
पर इन एलिगेशंस और काउंटर एलिगेशंस के बीच सवाल तो वही खड़ा रहता है कि क्या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कुछ और कर सकती थी जिससे अंकिता की जान बच सकती थी। Unfortunately, I will have to leave the conversation there with that question. I appreciate all our guests taking our time and joining us here this evening. We are now shifting our focus to the other big debate that we want to focus on this evening. The friction and the flashpoints between the AAP, the BJP and the LG still continues.
This is what will prove whether CBI is an independent agency or whether CBI is a frontal organization of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
आम आदमी पार्टी, आप लोग सीरियल लायर्स हैं। झूठ बोलना ये कहीं न कहीं कोई सीखे तो आपसे सीखे। हर विषय में फरेब, हर विषय में धोखा और हर विषय में झूठ।
So as I said, the friction and the flashpoints still continue. All of this after Aam Aadmi Party accused the LG Vinay Kumar Saxena of being a part of a 1400 crore currency scam. The Delhi LG has decided to now take legal action against AAP leaders including Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj for defamatory and false allegations of corruption during his tenure as the chairman of the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Now today, amidst back-to-back press conferences, CBI officers also met AAP leaders who were protesting outside the agency headquarters. But the drama today isn't restricted just to the national capital. Now the Shrimoni Akali Dal delegation has also met the Punjab governor demanding probe into the state's excise policy. Sukhbir Singh Badal has alleged that the liquor scam is worth rupees 500 crores as far as Punjab is concerned. They are now saying that the entire liquor trade in Punjab has been handed to just two companies. So where does the truth actually lie, and what do we know so far as these allegations and counter allegations are concerned? Let's break down the details as far as what is this flashpoint between the AAP as well as the LG, because the pot shots are really flying thick and fast. Now what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that there is a 1400 crore scam by the LG, and this was during the period of demonetization. The LG is saying that the liquor gate and the school scam heat is only mounting on the Aam Aadmi Party, and thus this is a frustrated Aam Aadmi Party. What the Aam Aadmi Party is also saying that the CBI must probe the LG. It's a test, and if the CBI doesn't probe the LG, then they'll again go with the narrative of this is a misuse of central agencies. The LG is saying, I will have a defamation suit against 4 AAP netas because they fabricated as far as what their claims were. The AAP is also saying that BJP targeted 40 MLAs and 20 crore each was offered to each of these MLAs. They wanted to break the unity as far as the party is concerned. The LG has also gone on to say that there is false charges that are being made as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. We should also remember that all these claims that have been made by the Aam Aadmi Party, no real evidence actually has been shown to anyone in public. Again, the narrative that we've heard from various other opposition parties, the AAP is saying that the BJP continues to misuse the central agencies like the ED and the CBI. This is just vendetta politics. The LG here is saying the AAP is diverting attention from pertinent questions and they're not giving any real answer to anyone. So the question that we're asking this evening is, all this back and forth that we're actually seeing, is there any real substance or is this just a political slugfest? You can use our hashtag and get involved in our debate. I want to now introduce the spokesperson of the political parties, BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. From the BJP, we have Vineet Goenka. From the Aam Aadmi Party, we have Abhinandita Mathur. Good to have both of you on the broadcast with us. Abhinandita Mathur, let me begin with you first. Let's get the big elephant out of the room. I'll get into the specifics in just a bit. The larger question is all these allegations and claims that are being made by the Aam Aadmi Party, whether it's as far as poaching claims are concerned, whether it's about the other claims that are being made. Manish Sisodia was offered some position by the BJP. We've only heard this as claims from the Aam Aadmi Party. Why aren't we seeing any evidence so far?
What happened today is really unfortunate for the democracy, for this country. I mean, there is a group of elected MLAs who go to the CBI, with their evidence, with their plea, and they were denied the meeting initially. I mean, even a small FIR should be simple to file, but they were not given that chance. So there is no question of us not wanting to give the evidence. We do, and we've gone to the right place. We'll also be moving court and so on. So I don't think that it is fair to actually
So today when the representatives went to the CBI, were they carrying evidence to prove all these poaching claims?
Absolutely. I mean, and the spokesperson have said as well that we are going with a very specific complaint. And whether that, and it is for the CBI and the investigation agencies to also, dig deeper and find that evidence, right? We are going with our complaint with some evidence and requesting the CBI that, this is very unfair what you are doing to, what the BJP is doing to Delhi by, forcefully implanting an LG that, who has a very serious criminal record in this case.
No, but Abhinandita, I just want to ask a simple question. How does it make the Aam Aadmi Party and the representatives of the Aam Aadmi Party look when on one hand they continue to just make claims without any evidence. They also want to paint a corrupt picture as far as the LG is concerned, but they don't give any evidence in their defense. If nothing wrong has been done, put out the evidence, blame everybody wrong. Why indulge in this press conference after press conference, allegations, counter allegations? Does it look good as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned? That's all that I want to understand.
Quickly I must respond to this. One thing that I would like to clarify here is that the Aam Aadmi Party is not here worrying about, how we are looking and whether we are a, party of protesters. We are a party who have, we were not politicians. We've had to join the business. We are not actually in the league of the other parties. We are not worried about how we are going to look. We're not worried about, winning or losing elections. We are actually very sincerely trying to work to get some order in the country and actually, making the government, forcing the governments to deliver on what they're supposed to. If 2 parties or 3 parties can do it very well, we will all go back to our jobs. The reason for the Aam Aadmi Party to come along was that, obviously there was immense corruption. There is still this khichatani, buying and selling of MLAs. What do we even mean by evidence? I mean, it is for the whole country to see. Don't we know what happened in Goa? Don't we know what happened in Manipur? Isn't
it really difficult to understand that all of this could be happening in Delhi, where the claim being made by the Aam Aadmi Party is that 40 MLAs are being poached, 20 crore each is being offered. There is no election happening. So I'm trying to understand this poaching claim. Does it even hold validity? And I would love to hear if you have some evidence. But let me bring in Vineet in the conversation as well. Vineet, the allegation that is being made by the Aam Aadmi Party is that, one, there is a corrupt LG. So that's why we're seeing these allegations fly from his side as well. And the second allegation that they've been making time and again is that today the fact that the CBI is only delaying the process of even registering a complaint just shows the fact that there is a misuse of central agencies by the BJP.
Ram to you and everybody, and a lot of wishes for the Ganesh Chaturthi to everybody who is watching this show and everybody in the studio here. Now, Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal had filed defamations, has spoken a lot of defamatory things and defamation, and we all know then he apologized to late Jetli ji and Nitin Gadkari ji. So they have a habit of blaming and then apologizing. Is that true or not? That Ms. Mathur can tell us. One. Number two, they have put the entire future of the generation of Delhi in danger. Why I so said? 2 things. They make them to drink and they force them to drop out. They have reduced the age of drinking from 21 to 18 so that everybody can drink free of, and the cost has been brought down. They have increased the number of shops so that
argument at least.
I have not spoken in between. If you have patience, we'll hear and I will give you data. Number 2, what they have done is, as per Times of India, 1st February 2019, academic year 17-18, 1,55,436 students failed. They only readmitted 52,582 students. 1,02,654 students were forced to go out of the education system. I repeat, in one academic year, 1,02,600 plus students were forced to go out of the academic year 2017-18. Their future was put in jeopardize. In Delhi, there are more than 1,000 schools. 745 schools don't have principal. 698 schools don't have science faculty. Madam, 24,000 teachers positions vacancies are there. They have not been filled for last 8 years. 22,000 contractual teachers are not been given permanent status for last many years. दारू के दला है, टीचरों से क्या करना है इनको, कुछ काम नहीं है. In 2017-18, in the class 10th itself of Delhi government school, 42,503 students failed. Only 812 students got readmission. 38,691 students were thrown out.
Fair enough.
Now, Miss Mathur.
Abhinandita, I want to bring you back in. Vineet, one sec. I'll come back to you. One sec. Vineet, I'll just come back to you. I'll give you a fair chance. Abhinandita.
Offers drinks, but pushes them to drop out. They do distortion of the facts. They do derogatory remarks, but they don't tell us why they paid 33 lakh rupees per classroom when the tenders were of 5 lakh.
Okay.
They don't tell us.
Okay, Abhinandita, I'll respond. I'll let you respond to that. But what I want to ask is, I want to understand, there are so many allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party today. There is a liquor excise policy here in the national capital that's under the scanner. Now even Punjab is Shrimoni Akali Dal. There are allegations being made. As far as education policies are concerned, there are allegations there. There are separate allegations as far as the LG is concerned, that this is a chief minister who doesn't sign the files. There is a delay as far as audit in universities are concerned. I'm just trying to understand, wouldn't it be better for the Aam Aadmi Party to set the record straight as far as these allegations are concerned?
Today, actually, we could have given more time to the BJP spokespersons, because the more they speak and the more they accuse, especially in the education area, our job becomes easier, because it's for everybody to see what Delhi has done or has attempted, and what the BJP, which is managing 17 states, is doing right now. They don't have one single school to boast about. They don't have one intervention in education, especially for the poorer communities, especially for the girl child. They don't have anything to show. And whoever is doing, it really helps us. They are actually coming up and highlighting our work every day. They're saying, nahi, inhone zyada school bana diya, inhone zyada classroom bana diya, inhone bachcho ke liye toilet zyada hi bana diya. It's very funny, they are actually...
But respond to the direct question. What about the lapses as far as quid pro quo in the Delhi liquor policy is concerned? Then look at the allegations that the Shiromani Akali Dal is making. They're alleging that this entire liquor scam is worth about 500 crores in Punjab. The allegations that the LG is making, that this is a chief minister who wants to be very cautious, he doesn't sign on as many as 37 files which were sent back to the LG. There is a delay in audit in universities. Why isn't the Aam Aadmi Party setting the record straight? That's all that I'm trying to understand.
Of course, the Aam Aadmi Party is setting the record straight. I mean, we cooperated with the CBI. The CBI spent 14 hours at Mr. Sisodia's house, and we were cooperative there. Whatever the relevant agency is asking, we are giving the answers. And even on television, frankly, for especially the last 1 month, all our spokespersons, and I have done several shows on your channel as well. We have seen that the AAP spokespersons have given very solid actually explanations. Once again, and once and for all, I'd like to repeat that we stand by the policy. The BJP need to accuse us. The CBI is doing its work, and we are hoping...
I'm running out of time, so this is what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying. They're cooperating with agencies, but there is a misuse of central agencies today. They're not actually finding anything, but they're just continuing to create optics out of it. Final word, Vineet.
Bharat Ratna Baba Saheb Ambedkar said that educate people so that they can stand on their own feet and they can serve the country. These are the people. Shameless Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi. He does a PowerPoint presentation of equitable distribution of liquor, but he never did a presentation of...
Sir, hazaron log mar gaye.
Please, don't interrupt. Third, don't interrupt, ma'am.
Okay, Vineet, I'm running out of time. 30 seconds.
They fought with Digest. They have got
Okay, Abhinandita, let him respond. Vineet, 30 seconds.
Ms. Mathur, don't be unruly. Don't be goon like that. The way you have hit the bureaucrat. Don't threaten me like that. The way you have handled people in, that right stand by your MLAs. Don't behave like that Bharti who handled his wife. Please, ma'am, be little educated on the show. So, shamelessly you do presentation of the equal distribution of liquor. They pay money to the mullahs in the mosque. But Ilma is forced out of the education system.
Unfortunately, I've completely run out of time. A lot of questions still remain unanswered. We'll really have to see how this plays out. Appreciate our guests taking out the time and joining us here. We're slipping into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with a wrap of all the other stories.